Hey guys, back with more school bus news, you could say, about about the new ICCE school bus. If some of y'all don't know what an ICCE school bus is, then I feel bad for you. I'll show you. This is an ICCE school bus. It's a 2015 model. And they started making these types of model of buses back in 2005 when it first came out. And they stopped making them in 2023. Well, they're still making them, but there's a new model to it, is what I'm trying to get at. There's like a new texture to it. They're still making them, but there's just a new texture, is what I'm really trying to get at. But this is the second gen CE. This is the second gen, but I'm going to show you the first gen. And this is the first gen CE. You can see there's been a lot of changes through 2001 through 2004. 2001 was the year that IC started making this type of bus, the first gen CE. And in 2004, that's when they started going to the second gen CE. But yeah, this was the first gen CE. And I remembered riding on one of these types of buses too. I remembered. But we now got that all out of the way. There's a third gen CE that'll be coming out probably in 2024 or 25. There's a third gen. Let's take a look at it. It is sitting right there. You can see nothing hasn't changed much. The grille, yeah, it has changed a whole lot. You can see the lights have changed a little bit. Like when I mean like the hood changed. You can see by that CE, like there's been like a major difference like IC did with the newer buses, the third gens. But yeah, you can see things looks pretty the same, just the hood and everything, it's just changed. But trust me, there's going to be more changes from here. Let's dig into it. Oh yeah, and one thing I failed to realize, that the door has gotten a little bit smaller. I noticed that the door has gotten more smaller. So I mean, again, it could be the same size, but from my view, it looked like it got more smaller, it looks like. But again, it could be the same size, but again, I don't know. I will realize, like, through the years, like through 2005 through 2023, IC has been noticed for having big doors, like wide doors. And I don't know, just seeing these newer buses with smaller doors, it's going to be interesting, like, to see, just like see the smaller doors. Because there were no buses other than the IC that had large doors. It was just the IC that had the large doors. And the Bluebird has small doors. The C2 has small doors. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty different. And here's another picture of the third generation ICCE. And I don't know what that camo's for. I don't know why they put camo there, but it is what it is. But yeah, there's a huge change to the grille. Huge change to the headlights. But everything else just looks the same. But again, I don't know what that camo's for. I don't know. We can see like the headlights, like they brung like the windshield. They did a huge difference to the windshield. They like slanted it forward a little bit more. That's what I'm trying to get at. And I don't know what that camo is for. I do not know. But yep, a huge change to the IC. And here's a second look of the third generation ICCE. Yeah, you can see no camo on the hood. It's just yellow. And to be honest, I actually find it pretty good. I actually find it pretty good. But I will say, like, I do see a little bit of C2, and I see a little bit of Bluebird. It's like if they're trying to get the version of an IC to look like a safety liner C2 or a Bluebird. But again, it's still a good looking bus. It's still good looking. But at the same time, I'm seeing a little bit of safety liner C2 and a little bit of Bluebird in the bus. But still, again, it still looks pretty good. And looking at the inside of the bus, we see a huge difference, like what we saw with the second gen CE and the first gen CE. Like the controls over there, and the controls, like, they're also a little bit different, like what we saw with the second gen CE, and the more of the switches over at that area. And even the dashboard's changed a little bit too. And I'm also seeing a little bit of C2 inside of the bus, because like of the air conditioning with the driver's side. Yeah, I'm seeing a little bit of safety liner C2, and with that, whatever you call, like the air vent and the placeholder right there. I mean, like the driver's side, like it looks like a safety liner C2 area, like what it's like walking inside of a safety liner C2. But again, that's just in my opinion. I mean, we all have our different opinions, and I'm just trying to get out mine. But it's still a pretty good looking bus. I'll also point out the steering wheel, and I'll say it is kind of like the safety liner C2, just with the switches. Like the safety liner C2, it doesn't have no switches on the steering wheel, just on the control panels and what have you. But like on the third gen CE, like it does kind of remind me of what you see in a safety liner C2, just except with the switches on the steering wheel. I think that's your cruise control, and that's your door switch, and that's your red override. I mean, I could be wrong on these, so if I get these wrong, you have the right to hit me in the face. And I am not sure what that is. I'm thinking that's your, I don't know. Probably second parts of your cruise control, maybe. Again, I don't know. But again, it does kind of remind me a lot of the safety liner C2, like the dashboard, the steering wheel, the features inside of the bus. It kind of reminds me of a whole lot of the safety liner C2. And you guys may wonder, what does the back of the bus look like? The back? Well, you probably don't need to know, because the back of the bus is literally the same as the second gen CE. No difference at all in the back. And we'll take another look at the inside of the third generation IC. We can look at the stairwell. A whole lot different. And seeing a little bit of safety liner C2 still, like with the air conditioning, but still looks pretty good. It's like the IC version of a C2, you know what I mean? But the IC version of a C2. And when we look at the windshield, it kind of reminds me of a whole lot like a C2. Also, it also looks like the new ICCE, like the third generation, is going to be powered by 2 fuels. One, I wonder who's texting me. But anyway, it looks like it's going to be powered by electric fuel, and, of course, diesel fuel. And right now, at this point, we don't know if they're going to be powered by regular gas or common propane. We don't know yet. As of right now, it just looks like it's going to be run by electric and diesel. but we'll have to wait and see what in the future if it will be run by regular gas or propane. We'll see what happens. And also, it turns out they're going to stop making the ICREs. It's kind of like the ICCE, but it's the flat nose bus, like flat nose. You know what I mean. But it turns out they're going to stop making the flat nose school buses too. Let's just put it at that. They're called the ICREs and the FEs. They're going to stop making those because it turns out like the population of the school buses that are IC are ICCEs and not REs. There are some counties or districts that does use ICREs and FEs, but they mostly use ICCEs, so that's why they're going to quit making the ICREs, the flat nose school buses, and they're going to continue on just making the ICCEs. So yep, the school bus world has been changing. I live over here at Mingo County, and the most popular buses over here at Mingo County schools are ICCEs. ICCEs are my school has a lot of them. There ain't no safety line or C2s, no Bluebirds. It's just ICCEs, and we do have a little bit of REs, a little bit. But mostly it's just ICCEs. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and bye.